episode of All Smooth Club, the show where everyday men discuss everyday topics. I'm Arrington Gavin, and alongside with me, I have my good friends. I have Mr. Dapper Luke, Mr. Donnell Britt, Mr. Jonathan Jones. Gentlemen, how's everybody feeling today?
Awesome,
good, man.
awesome.
Great
Awesome.
day.
That's awesome. That's
yes,
great.
sir.
Well, look, for those who are watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, all that great stuff, and follow us on all major podcast platforms: Spotify, Google, Apple, all major podcast platforms. Fellas, look, I want to start this one off. So I was reading an article about Monique, the comedian, Hollywood actress Monique. Her lawsuit against Netflix is moving forward. It's like I don't know if you remember, 2019, she had put out on social media to protest against Netflix for racial bias and gender bias. So the lawsuit is actually for racial discrimination and gender discrimination because she had an opening offer to do a Netflix comedy special, and she wasn't impressed with what they offered her. They offered her $500,000. So now at that time, Chris Rock had signed a deal for like $42 million. I think Dave Chappelle signed something around like 50, almost close around that range. Then like Amy Schumer signed a $13 million deal. So Monique's like, hold up, where's my millions at? Where is that at? Now, being that said, her lawsuit is still going on right now, and we look back in 2020, I believe Dave Chappelle had did a strike against his own show. So my question for you is like, which one was more impactful? His strike against Netflix or what Monique is going through with the lawsuit against Netflix with the racial discrimination. So where wants to start? Which one you want to start with first?
Well, I mean, I think there's two different perspectives there, right? So Monique wanted us to not watch Netflix at all. Like, just stop watching Netflix. Whereas Dave Chappelle said, just stop streaming my show. And ultimately, he won. It first started, I think, with HBO, and then it was Netflix, and both of them winded up paying him. So his, I guess, worked. With Monique, I'm not really even sure where she's going. You know what I'm saying? Like, after she may or may not win this, is Netflix going to offer her more money? I mean, like, I don't know where she wants to go with this. So
office space gonna be a little awkward.
Yeah, I mean, like, so at the end of the day, I would say definitely Dave Chappelle was more impactful, and his actually worked. He said, directly to the networks, stop playing it. HBO, I think, was the initial one to kind of bring it down, and then Netflix stopped showing it, and eventually he got his money for his claim. So
it was a really like surprising thing where like somebody said stop it, and then they had enough respect for him because he already had like, I guess, 2 or 3 stand-ups already. So they had enough respect where they're like, all right, we respect your thing, so we're gonna take it back, and then we'll get it figured out, and then we'll put it back up there. And I think like just in Hollywood, because like a lot of people they try to lash out, and it ended up working like really well for him.
Yeah,
I mean,
go ahead.
To be determined, I think because we got to see what happened with her, right?
Yeah.
And what is she actually what is going to be accomplished? It's going to be women's rights, or is it going to change? Is what she going to do going to change the industry? And my opinion is no. I don't think what she's doing right now is going to change anything going forward, because ultimately, isn't that negotiation between 2 people, a sole proprietor and an actor with the company, right? So it's nothing set in stone of how much an African-American person supposed to be paid, a woman supposed to be paid. If you're paid less, then either you need to get better negotiation skills, somebody to represent you better or something. But I don't know if she's actually going to win.
It's crazy because like when Dave Chappelle brought that up, like his protest lasted maybe like a month, and then he came back. So I'm even thinking like, what if Dave Chappelle was in Monique's footsteps and he told? Because I mean, look at the fan base that Dave Chappelle. Like, I'm a huge. If Dave Chappelle said stop watching Netflix, I'm like, all right, let's see what's on Prime Video or something.
But they never stopped playing Dave Chappelle stuff on whatever Comedy Central or all that. So the younger generation, we watched him, right? We watched him. But then the younger generation got to know Dave Chappelle show too. Absolutely. So he became still relevant to the marketplace. She's not still relevant because nobody you can watch the Parkers or whatever.
Parkers,
but the younger generation is not ready to stream the Parkers. Like, so tell me a hit stand-up that she already has.
And that's the thing that I think she is, as I commend her for fighting to try and get more, but at the end of the day, it's an open offer. It's a trial and error always with Netflix. They're saying like, look, we know what your resume is, but what can we anticipate from you? Are you gonna like with Dave Chappelle? We know, okay, we put him on as a comedy special. It's gonna sell out, quick. Amy Schumer, at the time she signed a contract for $13 million, Amy Schumer sold out Madison Square Garden twice.
Right.
Like, I mean, just easy money. And they had a film that made millions of dollars. Now, again, I feel as though like Monique is really embarrassed because she's like, wow, I've done this for how many years and you're gonna give me this much. But again, it's like if you name a special, what's a hit special? Or if you name, I just think they got the feelings hurt because again, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, those are like, again, and I'm not trying to,
I think that she should at least gotten to pay at least $1 million.
Chump,
that is chump change. I'm not no Monique fan. It's Netflix. They have like 100 original series, shows, and movies. That's chump changing them $1 million. At least to start out and then move.
I give a $550. No, I'm joking.
I'm not even saying
Do you feel like the 500 was justifiable?
Absolutely.
Do you know how much money Netflix has?
I know how much they have, but I'm just saying, like, we don't know other, like, they just said Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock. I'm just saying, look at all the comedians that's been up there, right? I know Marlon Wayans was up there. Wanda Sykes had a special up there. Many people had specials up there. They never mentioned how much you don't know how much they got paid. They could have got paid less than her and still done it because they knew, okay, I'm gonna show them what I can do, and if it makes it big, they can offer me more and more and more. So again,
I mean, I get it, but
I would also say,
I know what you're saying too.
why is she so focused on Netflix? Right, it's an open market. You've got Hulu, you've got HBO Max, you got all these other streaming services out there, and then, like you said, not right now, currently with the COVID environment, but as this thing was going on, we still had mega venues. If at the end of the day she felt as though they weren't giving her the money, she had other ways to get the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, going and suing them or, going through litigation with them,
doesn't make sense.
It's tying up your time. You know what I'm saying? And then, your lawyers, you're paying them. So in my opinion, in an open market, if the individual does not give you what you want, go to somebody else or prove to them that this is what I should be making based off the numbers you're putting up in these shows. Like,
Bet on yourself.
The one thing I want to say is that I feel like she might have thought that, like, because Dave Chappelle, it was kind of like a career, like, reviving thing for him when he first dropped that thing. And maybe she thought that Netflix was going to be that platform for her. But the thing is that Dave Chappelle told that people stop watching and Netflix took it off. It's like that kind of shows that Netflix still has, like, respect for people. And she probably could have worked something out, but she went about it the wrong way. It's like if Netflix had enough respect to Dave Chappelle to take his stuff off and get a better deal, that shows that they're a company that actually cares and that they're not just throwing pity offers out.
But and before we go to commercial break, guys, I just want to let y'all know Monique she did have a special. It wasn't on Netflix. It was most recent. It was on Showtime. It was Monique and Friends. So it wasn't even like a solo special. It was her and
that's my thing. Like,
she played the
Dave Chappelle has always been known as a primary solo act, right? That's what he's been doing his whole career. He had a sketch comedy show, The Dave Chappelle Show. She has been on series. She's been on movies. She did one previous major special that I'm aware of, which was The Queens of Comedy, and she was one of 4. You know what I'm saying? So that's not ever been her lane to be like, I'm going to demand what Amy Schumer, headliner, Chris Rock, headliner. You've never been a headliner. So in my opinion, she don't deserve it.
Monique, take the money. All right, we'll be back with our Smooth Club.
Hot. Yeah. The way these digging talk is irrelevant. I heel kick Troy's Achilles and I shoot like Legolas and fly around Earth on Pegasus. The throne is for the taking, so I'm sending these messages. No belligerent talk, the cup is half full with a measurement. The way I'm work these bars and it's like I had a regimen. The boy rock solid like sediment. 10 years till they see the legacy. I don't like bygones be bygones, cause by the end the time's gone. New to the game like Zion. One push of a button, niggas is.
Check out What's Going On Wednesday, a weekly vlog with co-hosts Arrington Gavin and Jonathan Jones. Hear them speak on topics such as sports, men's health, business, current events, and so much more. You don't want to miss as they tackle a range of funny and serious topics. Catch them every Wednesday on YouTube at Rugged Evo TV. Rugged is the new smooth.
Welcome back to our Smooth Club. All right, fellas. It's been a couple days now. We saw Derek Chauvin. He was guilty on all 3 counts. And it was probably maybe an hour or two right after that, there was another shooting. And a lot of people were quick to say it was police brutality. The Ma'Khia Bryant, the 16-year-old girl, apparently she was getting jumped and she called the cops for help. The cops showed up, but then she came out the house with a knife and pushed some girl and went up to another girl and looked like it was about to stab her. And the cop was there for probably 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and he ended up shooting her 4 times, 5 times. 4 times. And she died. And so like a lot of people, like LeBron James came out, tweeted like, we got to stop this police brutality. But they released a video, and to me, it looked like that. The cop did his job, honestly. Like,
it's a lot of ways to look at it.
Yes,
it's a lot.
Well, to defend JJ, I would say we're always protesting on unarmed shooting. Unarmed killings. Police killing an unarmed person. Or unarmed
she was armed.
She was armed.
Yeah.
She had 2 arms. Yes. No.
but seriously, she was armed. She was, if he didn't, was she trying to scare a person? Would she have, took a shot at that girl, with the knife? We don't know. The sad part, what people it's hard to understand is like, damn, she was 15 years old, 16 years old, and 5.
That was her foster home.
Yeah,
it's just, it's
the thing.
It's
I don't really put as much blame on her as the fact that there was grown people there watching it happen, and then after he shot her, the guy said, "She's a kid, man." It's like, so you're a grown man and like watching these kids fight.
So all right, so there's so many layers to this that you're talking about, right? But I think to get to kind of the grit of what your question is, in my opinion, right? So the girl was armed and she was shot, right? The cop had a split-second decision. Do I shoot or don't I shoot, right? And if I do shoot, do I have to shoot 4 times? That was the question. Like, he was shooting to kill, right? He wasn't shooting to disarm or put her down. He was shooting to kill. And a lot of people that I've heard have had comparisons to when a mass murderer who clearly killed a bunch of people, and they always find a way to take those guys in unharmed, unscathed.
Not even a scratch.
The massacre down in South Carolina at the church, taken in. They took them to Burger King to have a meal. So I don't think people are necessarily saying that what he did was wrong, right? You're right. He saw a girl lunging and he shot her. But to me, everyone is kind of upset about the fact that why with that particular situation, it always seems that someone winds up dead. And in other situations, they always find a way to bring them in unharmed. You know what I'm saying?
But it was 4 to 5 shots, right? The girl in the pink was right beside the same girl. Girl in the pink didn't get hit at all. So he was a great shot.
Yeah.
So my only thing was, could he have shot and hit her in the leg?
Exactly.
Shot to hit her in the shoulder, whatever. He shot to kill without a doubt. He shot a lot of times.
See, the thing that I have questions with is because I know, like, because I've questioned that too. It's like, why don't they shoot him in other body parts? Like, with their protocol, they're taught to shoot the biggest mass, which is mostly the chest. Right, But the thing I don't really understand is because most of the times when people are shot by the police, they're always shot more. It's not shot once and they die. They always shoot at least 4 rounds. Because like Jacob Blake, they shot him like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's part of the protocol where it's going to be.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I used to be, believe it or not, I was a licensed bail bondsman. Right, so I had that consider. Why did you laugh at that? I was a bounty hunter.
Yeah, we're trying to get it through our head.
Look, dressed like this, and he was like, no.
I took a concealed weapons class, right, because I had to carry around a firearm. And one of the things that the concealed license instructor told us is the fact that when you shoot a person, right, on television, it gets blown off of their feet. It's like, right? It doesn't happen that way in real life. Yeah. It just puts holes in you. It does not stop your momentum. So like you said, they have to do it more than one time to get an effect, because if you just shoot a person one time, it's not they're going to be like, right? That does not happen. Mm-hmm. So if you don't do it multiple times, it's not going to be effective. They'll eventually bleed out, or they may not, but I think the reason why they shoot him 4 times is because, like you said, it's not going to be that one shot lay down. They put a few rounds in the biggest portion, which is the chest. And unfortunately,
because I mean, in that like the last like thing of the video is like she had it up like this with the girl against the car, and it's just like I mean, I don't put the blame on her completely because there was other grown-ups there, but the fact is like that the cop, all that he said was a call of somebody was getting beat up, and he probably thought that she was the main agitator when she wasn't. But if you're showing up at that point in time and you see somebody with a knife, you think that they're the one that was causing all the problems to begin with.
So why she didn't stop when she knew the police was on scene?
And that's the thing, because at this point now, that whole, why won't they shoot in the leg? I'm like, hey, that's only for movies. In real life, they never use that. Same with the taser. They're like, they could have tased her. I'm like, that's just all.
Like if she was just walking around and doing like this with then that's where like a taser would come in. But if she's like hit that girl, then went over to another girl.
She threw one down, went to another one. It's like, okay.
But you know what? And again, we are definitely playing Monday morning quarterback with this, right? Because we're all, we're not in the moment. So of course we can all look at it from different angles and different perspectives, right? But in that moment, what do you do? Like it's literally, I don't know the cop, but in his mind, it could have been life or death. So. It's one of them. You damn if you do, you damn if you don't. Situation.
Some people say he did save life.
And that's also a what if scenario. Because what if she stabbed the girl and it was just a quick stab? We can't say that she was going to die if she got stabbed.
Yeah.
It's all these what if scenarios.
The fact that she was about to harm someone. That's the thing. It's not even if she would have killed somebody.
But the fact, like
somebody from harming
on Twitter, like I see, is like people they're just saying it's another police brutality against black people, like this and that, and she was a child. It's like. I don't think that that's the case with this one. I don't think that it was some racist cop who I don't.
Well, I remember like Donnell brought up a little earlier, are we quick to, already make the assumption when it comes to, when we hear about a situation like, police brutality or anything like that, are we quick to already say, this was this.
And it was an hour after the
George Floyd first videos looked horrible. But the pictures and the slowdown and the better videos made you say, oh man, maybe we were wrong.
All we heard was that a girl called the cops for help because she was getting jumped and then she ended up getting shot. So then you're just like, oh,
here we go again.
Yeah, here we go again. Right. Especially on the day of, it was kind of ironic the day that it happened was the same day that they announced.
Right.
3 counts guilty, David Chauvin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. There is no way he was going to come out as a hero, the cop. He was, if he didn't shoot her, why didn't you do anything? If he did shoot her, why did you shoot her? Sometimes in law enforcement, it's not like the movies. You're not going to be the hero. You just have to just depend on your training and do what you feel is best in that moment.
Do you think it was a racially
I don't think it was racially motivated. I don't think it was racially motivated.
All right. We'll be back with a quick break.
Dapper Luke Collection is a full custom clothier located in Virginia Beach. Our goal is to give you a full custom experience. Follow us and schedule your appointment at dapperluke.com. Let us create your perfect custom look for your perfect wedding, prom, graduation, or anniversary.
Welcome back to the Art Smooth Club. I'm Donnell Brett. Hey guys, like I was talking to my wife, we was having a nice discussion at home the other day, and I kind of felt like I was controlling the situation, and I said, I'm the man of the house. I said it real proud, my chest poking out, and then she was real calm, and she said, well, what does that mean? So, guys, I need some help. So when I go back home, I can finish off this communication. But on the real, what does it really mean as men to say that we're the man of the house? What does that entail? Is it money? Is it how you treat them? Is it taking out the trash? Like, what do y'all feel like a man of the house? What does that definition really look like?
The only word I can think of is provider, and after provider, I'm thinking, finances in a sort of. I mean, that's what I'm thinking of right now. I'm providing, a home. I'm providing, this and that. I mean, that's me. But I'm not married. I'm engaged. So I'm gonna pass on to the married man.
So I mean, for me, with me and my wife, we've always kind of been a yin and a yang type situation, right? Whatever she doesn't do, I try to take up the slack, or vice versa. So I think initially in a previous thought process, the man of the house was the primary provider, right? The one that was the major breadwinner. He goes out and then the wife is home. But I think that mindset has definitely shifted nowadays. I know when our children were younger, I would tell my wife all the time, I don't want to be the disciplinarian, like, because, I'm away from the children the most, right? Because I was in the military, and I don't want, when I come home, all the problems, and, I'm just going to be disciplinarian. That's so the first time they see me, I'm disciplining, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't think that's good either, like where you think that the man is a disciplinarian, because he, wants to have the affection of the children. He doesn't want the children to see him as the person that's going to enforce all the rules and be that, So, I mean, I guess the man of the house, to me, is just, you're the complement to whatever she is, That's what I see as a man of the house. You two complement each other.
What you think?
Kind of going off you, like, this day and age, I feel like girls in our age group, like, it's man of the house kind of like a smoke and mirrors type thing, because it's like now, like, they speak out more. It's not just like how it was back in the day where it's like, oh, you cook and clean and take care of the man when he comes home. Like, it's different.
Be
and
ready
like,
when I get home.
Yeah, like girls, like, they're more outspoken about that stuff. And so, I mean, I think definitely providing, financial reasons, but kind of going off of the other topic that we had about making the more money and stuff. Like, it's a balance with that. But I think one of the biggest things is just like protection. Because your woman can provide more and y'all can have a happy family, but she's not going to be the one, shouldn't be protecting you.
Yeah, so it's bumping the night. She's not going to investigate. Yeah.
It's like, even if you're not that tough guy, like whatever, you still got to make her feel some sort of calm and you gotta protect. Like that's what I feel like. I guess that title now, without having some type of sexist thing where like, man of the house, like you listen to me, it's like at the end of the day, like that protection, I feel like that's like the biggest thing for being like the man of the house in a way.
Why are you scared away from it? Just because you
I don't know. I didn't scared. Well, how did that conversation come about? That's what I was
No, you know what, man? Listen, marriages, relationships, they always go through, issues, problems sometimes. And as a, newly, even though we've been married 4 years, we're still newly learning each other because, she had a prior marriage, I had a prior marriage. The way we operated in our prior marriages was totally different, right? And so I was more saying, listen, I'm the man of the house because I wasn't told something. Like I travel a lot, businessman, all this stuff like this. So when I come home, I'm not told things that I guess affect me, right? And so as the man of the house, I felt like, listen, you should tell me what's going on, or we got to make decisions together. Let me know. Just don't make them all by yourself and stuff like that. It was, and so me, man of the house, I'm gonna provide. So if I'm providing, I'm taking care of the kids. Let me in on some stuff, like, so, and so I didn't necessarily mean it as man of the house of you're going to do what I say, regardless of the fact. I always laugh and joke where I say, you're in control, but you're in charge, but I'm in control, or something like that. We'll laugh about that. But I always give my wife carte blanche to do whatever she wants, but I just wanted to, I think I was young and I saw that, right? I saw that, on TV, the guy, I wear the pants, or I bring home the bacon, so you're the man of the house. So when I said it, I thought I was saying something that was real, but in reality, I just wanted to be informed about what was going on in the household. I take the trash out, I do all the stuff that I'm supposed to do as a man, but vice versa, what if I didn't work? So can a guy be the man of the house and he doesn't work? Right?
That's kind of going what we just talked about earlier, like we said about the money situation.
Yeah.
And even one thing with me, and I'm sure this is probably the same thing with you, I have an older son, 19, about to be 20. Right. And I told my son, if we ever get in a fight and you win, you got to move out. Right. There's no way you're going to beat me and live in my house. Right? That's not, there is no way you're going to beat me and then still live underneath my roof. So you might take the win that day, but you're taking the L when you out my house. So, I mean, yeah, man.
Oh, that's
but
funny.
that was
That's
another
funny.
part. I mean,
That's
we have adult kids, right? 22, 24, 25. Like, so listen, guys, I'm going to be the only man in the house.
There's going to be one king.
There's going to be one guy, one king, and she the queen, and we're together, right? United front. And so I just think the world has changed in a lot of different ways, i.e. who makes the most money when we talked about earlier, who's the man of the house, who's this, who's that. But it was just an interesting thing to figure out. And honestly, I have yet to get a clear-cut answer from any man I ask, but I think it's more because we all are trying to be equally yoked with the woman that we're with. So it isn't really for us. Maybe back in the day, for our forefathers, it was a big macho thing. But for us, I don't think it's like that anymore. Not for me, personally.
Like I said, I think it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
I'll just say for the ladies that watch this show, you guys are always going to be in charge. One of my favorite movies, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. They had a term where your father might be the head, but I am the neck. And
Absolutely.
I'm like, damn, that's true.
At the end
He's
of the
the
day,
head, but I'm the neck, and I'm gonna guide him wherever. So I'm like, okay.
It's always a strong woman in anything right beside you. And that wife, y'all are together, all together. So fellas, appreciate it. I got some ammunition to go back. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll go to commercial break.
Rugged Evolution Beard Care is the hottest new beard care in the market. With 16 amazing scented balms and oils, you can choose which smell you want to try with our new sample balm and oil set, or use the mustache moisturizer and our new leave-in conditioner. Don't forget to add a wooden comb to glide through your beard without snag. Check out our website at ruggedevo.com or call for a private consultation 855-848-3029. And remember, rugged is the new smooth.
All right, well, there goes another awesome episode of Arsenal Club. Fellas, it's always been a pleasure. For those tuning in, be sure to tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. on YouTube. Again, follow us and subscribe to all major, our show on all major podcast platforms, Spotify, Google. All major podcast platforms. So that's all I can say. So look, fellas, I'm going to cheers to another great episode with you guys. Y'all take care.
Cheers.
Bye.